I found something.
Okay. What did you find?
Found a place. It's massive in there. It just goes on and on and on. All these rooms. This place built, though. Actually, more like it remembers them.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. On today's video, prepare to enter a never-ending liminal space nightmare as a feature film has been made of a 4chan image that was then made into a creepypasta story that was then made into a YouTube miniseries and, as I said, is now a fully-fledged feature film. This is my review of Backrooms. Clark is a furniture store owner who isn't exactly living his best life, but he discovers a strange doorway in the basement of his shop that takes him into a bizarre maze of halls and corridors. Halls and corridors that seem to contain regular items of furniture or random collections of miscellaneous objects, but the deeper Clark goes, the more abstract this maze becomes, and the closer he edges to creatures that lurk within. If you are chronically online like myself, you will have probably come across the Backrooms concept before. An internet phenomenon about people stuck in this yellow liminal purgatory. Kane Parsons was the first to bring it to life with his acclaimed YouTube miniseries that took such a concept and ran with it. And now, as seems to be the case with a lot of horror films nowadays, Parsons has been handed the keys to a feature vehicle, and for the most part, the film is a success. The concept of the Backrooms is probably the film's greatest selling point. Parsons frequently uses the found footage way of filming to document his characters as they are navigating the labyrinth that is the Backrooms. What this allows is a POV perspective for the audience, as we are therefore peering around every corner, turning anytime you hear a strange sound, and deploys very effective shaky cam whenever there are creatures that may or may not be after you. It gives the film a very tangible, analog feel. They legitimately built 30,000 square feet of actual backrooms, practical sets for the cast and crew to walk through, and there were some cast and crew members who legitimately got lost. There's a particular attention to detail, seemingly randomized objects that just appear in empty rooms, but then the deeper you go, some of these objects are phased into the wall or the floor. There's an uncomfortability and an unsettling atmosphere that this gives that really seeps across the whole film. There are a couple of instances where Parsons clearly leans back on utilizing and creating some of the sets through Blender, which is a visual effects software that he made a lot of his YouTube miniseries through. And I don't blame him for that, because there's some really complex sequences, especially in like the middle portion of the film, that would have been hard to do practically. So going through what he's familiar with, I don't have any criticisms on that at all. It looked impressive. The attention to detail is still there. There's one thing I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, this guy is 20 years of age. He's been able to do an entire series on YouTube and create a multi-million-dollar movie that is released internationally, and he's 20. Now, this sort of project doesn't initially scream stars Academy Award nominees Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renate Reinsve, but it does. And clearly it's because they were able to see Kane Parsons' vision in this film. And they work very well as performances, less so as characters. And that brings me on to a lot of my negatives in the film, and that the character work is weak. It's not very good. I appreciate that there are some relatively early foundations built for these two characters. Clark is a recovering alcoholic that has recently been divorced and separated from his partner, whilst Mary, his therapist, is undergoing her own repressed trauma as well. But the script never truly gives you a chance to care for these characters. Clark isn't the most likable of characters. And so when he's exploring the Backrooms, you watch along in an almost passive sense. And Mary is clearly more layered, but her past is treated far more ambiguously, but not effectively achieved. By the time the third act rolls around and the characters are inevitably stuck in the backrooms, that is when the screenplay quickly unravels. Massive character shifts happen without much of a build. There are some sudden revelations about the backrooms that are brought to us in a very unsatisfying manner, and there is one monster creature reveal that I was incredibly disappointed by, because you hired the same actor who portrayed the alien human hybrid in Alien Romulus, and that shit was nightmare fuel.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
In Backrooms, this creature is just a bit underwhelming. Kane Parsons clearly shows a lot of potential as a filmmaker, and the Backrooms concept is one I think that is going to be explored for many years to come. From a directorial perspective, it's incredibly impressive. The production design is immaculate, really adding to the overriding uneasiness you feel watching the movie. And it's a unique horror film, there is no doubt about that. But I was never scared. I cared very little towards the characters, and the ending itself doesn't sufficiently wrap up the events we'd seen prior. As of now, I still think the concept may lend itself better to a short series rather than a full-length feature, but I am eager to be proven wrong.
So, I'm going to give Backrooms a 7 out of 10.
Anyway, guys, those were my thoughts on Backrooms. Let me know. Have you had the chance to see the film yet? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And my question to you, we have had a lot of YouTubers recently come on to the horror landscape as feature filmmakers. We had Kane Parsons, Backrooms, we had Curry Barker for Obsession, we had Chris Stuckman for Shelby Oaks. So I want to know, who is a YouTuber that you would like to see make their first feature film? And I'm not accepting Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast doesn't need a feature movie. No one needs to see that. But that is all the time we have for today. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.